back to Standing Waters Podcast. I'm your host, Chip Miller, and with me today, I have a very special guest, Mike Keppel, who owns Outhouse Gutters. Welcome, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're more than welcome. So, I've been in these for a little bit. This is Mike's first one, so we're just going to break him in nice and gentle.
Yes, be gentle.
So, just breathe, we'll be fine. His wife made us an agenda, which is very nice of Janet to do so. So Mike has a gutter business. He's been around for a while. So, Mike, tell us a little about you, your business, and your family just to start us off. Actually, let's do your family first.
Okay. Well, I'm married to my beautiful wife Janet for going on 20 years now. I've got two boys, Cole and Kyle. Cole's a senior in high school. Kyle's an 8th grader. And we live north of Eckland on the family farm I grew up on. I'm not a native Garrett County, but I've been here since I've been about 4.5, so it's pretty much all I remember.
Yeah. You're pretty much here then.
Yep.
How many acres you own?
We got 110 altogether.
110? So what do you do on your 110 acre farm?
We got a horse that my son shows and make some hay, hunt, ride snowmobiles.
Nice.
And then, yeah.
And your kid's Cole is a senior, and he is involved in the fair and everything, and so is Kyle. I mean, so is my kid. So
right.
Actually, we camp together at the fair. We have our own little circle, our own little family.
Fair board together.
Yes.
Like another full-time job sometimes.
Oh, definitely a full-time job.
But yeah, I've been going to the fair ever. That used to be the only vacation we got growing up on the farm was fair week.
Yeah.
Acted with that my whole life, practically.
Yeah, which is good, and thank you for that, because the fair wouldn't be what it is today without long members like you guys that's been on it for a while and involved with it. I've only been on it for 2.5 years, probably, somewhere in there, so I'm just starting with it, but I love it.
Officially, but you've always been helping in the background.
Well, yes, but officially, yeah.
Yeah.
So a little tidbit. So like I said, we have our own little camping area down through there and that we camp with. And speaking of Janet, was it last year? I think that she won, if I have my notes here right, the best breakfast apron in the county bread division.
Yes.
Yeah. So Janet she is up at like the crack of dawn before anybody else, and she's out making breakfast. She's doing everything, and so we all got together and made her a little note and hung it on her camper for her one day when she come back.
Because the livestock exhibitors at the fair, they have a county bred class for all the local kids if their animals are county bred. So Janet, being a native of Garrett County, she won the county bred
apron. Breakfast apron.
Yeah.
I still remember that morning.
Yeah.
And then Cole, like I said, he's a senior, very polite kid. I like Cole. He does anything for you that he wants. He's a hard worker. And he's working for Rush Services still, am I correct?
Yeah, he's doing an apprenticeship through school. Gets out of school early, works for them.
Yeah.
And then,
which is nice.
And it's going to use the Garrett County Promise Scholarship through the commissioners to probably attend Garrett and with some continuing ed and all that. Yeah, he's got lots of options open for him.
Yeah.
And he helps me some in the business. 12, he's helped me off and on and still does some. But I want him to see his other options. What else he might want to do. He can always fall back on gutter installation.
Exactly.
It's not rocket science.
No, but I tell you, it's always nice for kids to explore. And even where we're at with, New Way and everything, you don't want to hold nobody back if they like doing something else.
And it'd be dumb not to take advantage of a free college education.
Yeah. And then now we move to Kyle. Kyle is very energetic. I love Kyle to death. And I'll tell you a little story real quick before we get into Mike's. So at the fair, we somehow locked our camper and we could not get into our camper. All of our keys were inside, everything else. Kyle, how tall is Kyle and what's he weigh? I mean,
he's about 5 foot tall and 70 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah, so he's small. So we had a little entrance door on the side, only about this big, and then we have a laundry chute that went up through, and we're like, how are we going to do this? And finally we were like, there's a laundry chute there. So we went over, and here come Kyle jumping around. He's like, I'll get in there and get it for you. And I'll be darned if he didn't crawl up in that little hole and up through that laundry chute. And the next thing you know, he opened up the door and grinning ear to ear. And Beth looked at him and says, "You're my hero." He saved the day. So, yeah. And Kyle's into stuff at the fair too, right?
Yeah. In the past, he's had a rabbit. Been in pet show every year. He did the dirt drags on the side by side last year. Does the tractor pull. Both my boys do the tractor pull on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And Cole has his horse every year at the fair, and they do the pedal pull. And we have antique tractors. We exhibit up at the Ag Hall, and Kyle also they do where you go to the nearly new and stuff and get clothes, and then they have it at the fashion review.
Okay.
You can make up try to spend the least amount of money and come up with an outfit. And he's actually won it the past 2 years, and actually got some other kids involved in that because they seen how cool it was. So,
yeah, that's neat.
And he doesn't know stranger. He's a lot of personality.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
I love him to death. So now let's get into your business.
Well, speaking of Kyle, though, he actually. This is more for Bill's benefit than yours, but he brought a present for you guys.
Am I allowed to open it?
Yeah. You might have to use it, I don't know.
Oh, I love it. It is called the New A Restoration Swear Jar. Compliments of Kyle Keppel, Potty Mouth Cleanup Crew, deposits by Bill and Chip. I love it. Thanks, Kyle. This is going definitely on Bill's side of the office than mine, because we all know Bill has the more potty mouth than I do.
Yeah.
So this come about whenever Bill come down to the fairground and in our circle, and you know, when guys get together and they just start trash talking everything, and so Kyle come over and he had a swear jar. So this is exactly what it was for. People would donate money at the beginning of the week for all week, or they did it day by day.
Yeah. Yeah, Kyle did quite well last year at the fair.
Yeah, he did very well.
Yeah.
I wonder if I need to get Bill over here real quick. So while I go get Bill real quick to thank Kyle for this, you start talking about the business that you own. I will be back in 2 seconds.
All right. Well, like Chip said, I own Outhouse Gutters and Downspouts. We do install seamless rain gutters. And how I got started, I grew up on a farm here, and we rented a farm up by Friendsville in the county. And we had a neighbor that was in the seamless rain gutter business. And so in the summertime, when I was making hay, he would help me make hay. And on occasions, I would help him hang gutters. So I got to know a little bit about it then. And then we decided to give up the full-time farming because it's hard to make a living farming. So I sold a Fuller I had, an old car I had, and bought some ladders and put a gutter machine on a credit card and started hanging gutters. And that was in 1996. And I've been doing it ever since.
All right, so you've been in business since 96. You've been doing
almost 30 years. Yeah.
Okay. So you do seamless.
Yeah, seamless gutters is. I have a machine. It's a roll forming machine. It's in a box trailer, and I bring it right to the job site. And it has a roll of aluminum on it, kind of like a roll of paper towels, and it goes off that roll into the machine. And you can make the piece seamless. You can do it any length you want. And it has advantages because if you don't have seams, you don't have leaks.
True.
Yep.
So what is the longest piece that you can put up by yourself?
I've done just under 64 feet by myself. Now that gets a little sketchy. The wind can't be blowing too hard.
Is the bow pretty good?
Well, when you get over 55, the ends want to curl a bit, so you can't walk with a lot of bounce in your step. But 50 feet's easy. You can do that all day, every day. You get over that, you gotta be a little careful.
So I'll tell you a quick story. I never realized whenever we was growing up and doing construction, it was always 10-foot pieces or whatever you could buy, and you could put them up and this and that.
Right.
And I'll forget where I was, and this guy pulled up in a trailer. And I'm like, said gutter on the side of it. I'm like, oh, 10-foot pieces, whatever. The next thing I know, it started coming out and coming out and coming out. And I was like, what in the world is going on?
Yeah.
Not seen it before. And I was like, wow. So I went down and I looked at it. But yeah, you can hold a lot of gutter. I mean, how many feet of gutter can you hold in a trailer?
Well, the rolls, I buy about a pound, so they vary, but there's usually about 1,200 feet on the roll. So, I mean, you can make a 1,200-foot piece of gutter if you really wanted to. Yeah. Now, the longest I've hung seamless has been 203 feet. And that was on a boot warehouse here at actually WG Campgrounds in McHenry. Luckily, the campgrounds, there was I had an audience anyway.
Right.
So I was able to call in some people. It took 9 guys to hang that one.
Holy cow.
Yeah, but we was able to park right by the building, just run right along the building. So it worked out pretty good.
Wow. 2 minutes. Bill, come here a second. In the introduction here, you can stand here behind, or you can sit. You can sit. I don't care what.
What do you want me to do?
Whatever you want to do. Come over here and sit.
Let's not make it completely impromptu.
We was talking about Mike and his family and everything,
Yeah.
and what we did at the fair and everything. So Kyle's
Kyle's my favorite.
gave us a little present, but it's mainly for you, so it's going to have to sit on your 61% of the company. So he made this for us.
I got a pretty good idea what it is. I'm taking a pretty good guess.
It's a New Way Restoration swear jar.
We have a New Way Restoration swear jar.
My only concern is it's awful small.
Yeah, it's gonna fill up quick.
Yeah.
Potty mouth cleanup crew. All right. Deposits by Bill and Chip.
Mostly Bill.
Probably, yeah, it's gonna be like Bill and Chip. Compliments of Kyle Keppel. God bless that kid. I love him. I love him. I love him. If you clearly, of the 12 viewers that we have, people know me. This is just a part of my vocabulary.
Kyle's very excited you're going to make me YouTube, Facebook famous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Well, tell him to put some money in there for me. I need some credits in the bank. Kyle cost me, Kyle probably cost me $100 last year at the fair. He would just sit next to me and just wait for it to come out.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey. I'd be in the middle of a conversation with somebody, and all he would do is just tap me and point. And I'd just put it back in again. Here we go. Yeah. I love Kyle. And then Kyle would go out on the midway every day and purchase something with whatever was in the swear jar.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he would come back and show it to us in the evening at dinner time and say, hey, look what I got today with your money. I love it. I love it. Well, Kyle, thank you very much. And we're going to do our best to make your dad YouTube famous. We don't have that big of a following.
Everybody starts.
Kyle, we're going to try hard. We will try hard to make you proud.
Yep. We are.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Where are we going to put it?
On your shelf, your side of the shelf where the coffee pot is.
I'll say within easy reach.
Okay.
Yeah.
For now, I think it stays right there.
It stays right there during the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Excellent. What else are we doing today? We're talking about gutters.
We're
right?
talking about gutters.
Excellent. Well, I'll leave you two to it. Thank you for inviting me over. Thank you for joining us today. And Kyle, you're my favorite, buddy. Thank you.
There you go, Kyle.
Yeah.
That'll be filled up. No, wait, Kyle, you have to tell your dad or me, once this is filled up, who gets the money?
Well, that's an easy question.
It's Kyle's jar.
All right, it's Kyle's jar.
Yeah.
All right, now let's get back to it. So why do we need gutters?
Well, you need gutters because you want to keep the water away from your foundations in your basement. Obviously, you deal a lot with wet basements. So.
Absolutely.
So you keep the moisture off the foundations, prevent freezing and thawing, plus, messes up your landscaping and all that, or erosion and all that. So
Yeah. Now I've seen a lot of houses that we go to, because we'll get down into this on the next one about the ice dams, but when we go to people's houses and we see all the water and stuff that's coming in and so forth, a lot of people don't have the extra pieces of gutter running out for the runoff. Sometimes it's just right down beside the house.
they're basically taking the water from here and putting it here, which keeps it off the siding and everything, but still, it's towards your basement and you're still.
Right. Crawl space isn't as bad as long as you don't have nothing in it, I take it. You know, if it's just, a couple blocks up, and you're building off of the block or something, but it could still crack your blocks.
And what I wanted to run into a lot in this county too is back before inspection and stuff, they would do the French drains of the house and just run the gutters into the French drains. And then they would, in hard rains or when the ground's already, saturated, whatever flows to French drains, the drains can't handle it, so it backs up. So if you have gutters run into downspouts run into drains, they need to have their own separate drains.
Right. Yeah. And I'm sure you ran into this, and it just popped in my head whenever you said that. They used to have a lot of terracotta pipe around here. And the terracotta, after a while, will break and decompose and clog everything up. You run into a lot of that too?
Homeowners do. Luckily, I tell them I take it to the ground, and after it gets to the ground, it's their responsibility.
It's theirs.
I'm not digging ditches and
right.
snaking out pipes and all that, but I mean, there's lots of times we'll run a hose in the drain pipe and make sure it works for them and all that.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay. What about the ice, like around your house and stuff, like right now when it comes out and it freezes and everything, that's also a safety hazard whenever you're walking around the house checking stuff. You want to keep all that away from
you want the gutters help to keep ice off your steps and everything in the wintertime and all that. To some extent. I mean, this winter I had a lot of people dealing with ice dams and stuff. And the thing about gutters do not prevent or do they cause ice dams. Ice dams are more of an insulation house in
the attic.
Or how the wind blows or how the sun hits your roof. The sun could hit the roof at the top of the peak and not at the bottom, and it melts it and it refreezes and all that. So, but if you have a house that you have trouble with ice, with the gutters, heat tape's usually your best bet. And the thing about heat tape is, if you're going to have heat tape on the roof, you need it in the gutters also, and also down the downspouts, because it doesn't do any good to melt the water off the roof if it refreezes in the gutters.
Right.
And it doesn't do any good to thaw it in the gutters if it can't run out the downspout.
Never thought about the downspout till you just said it.
So you run it in the gutter.
Perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Now let me ask you this question. Metal has come a big thing up here. Do you like metal roofs or shingled roofs to tear up? What tears up more gutter, I guess, have you seen over the past years?
Metal roofs do. I mean, if the gutters, I use the thickest material run through the machine. I use a quality hanger on metal roofs. I usually put them a foot, 12 inches apart. And a lot of it's how it's installed and who's installed it, the materials you use. But a metal roof, if you don't have snow or something on it, you get snow and slides off, it's more likely to tear gutters off.
To tear them off.
Than a shingle roof.
Okay.
And I like a shingle roof because it's a lot easier to walk on.
Well, definitely a lot easier to walk on.
Yeah.
Actually, think about this. I have a job for I need you to go look at. So whenever you're saying for the heat tape, or you do heat tape wire, I guess this is what it is basically.
Yeah. Now I don't do that.
You don't do it?
Because I don't get an electrical. That's a whole nother liability and insurance and all that.
Okay.
So I recommend people that will install it. But
okay. Because I got to have you go look at a job for us that we need to have it looked at. Because here's my thought, and you tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm probably going to be wrong on this. The building has 5-inch gutter on it right now. Is it better to have 6-inch gutter? Because now you do 6-inch gutter, right?
Right, yeah. That's
back when this started, it was only 5-inch gutter, and everybody had that.
Right.
So when is the change from a 5-inch gutter to a 6-inch gutter, in your opinion, of drainage coming off, and how much?
Yeah, there's a whole I guess it'd be one time in my life I used algebra. There's a whole equation for figuring the length, like the length of the roof, and then how long they recommend anything over 30 feet, every 30 feet to have at least a downspout. But the 6-inch gutter handles a lot more water than the 5-inch, but also sticks out further. So if you got a steel roof, there's a bigger chance that the snow and stuff will take it off.
Gotcha.
And a lot of times what I'll recommend that they put a bigger 3x4 downspout on the 5-inch gutter, because the 3x4 downspout will handle the same volume of water as a 4-inch pipe.
Okay.
So if you getting the water out faster is the biggest thing.
Okay.
Where your normal size is a 2x3 downspout, or just have more downspouts more often. And I run into a lot of houses now. They're putting 45-degree faceboards on them and shadow boards and all this fancy stuff. So you got to use wedges and everything, and you need the wider gutter just to catch the water from the roof, because it's not. The gutter's further back on the faceboard because of the angle. And then a lot of these fancy houses now, they have a lot of valleys and dormers, and you got a whole bunch of water coming off the roof in one spot, and you need the bigger gutter. And you also usually have to have water diverters, which is a piece of aluminum put on top of the gutter.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have an inside valley, you get all that water in one spot, comes down, it'll overshoot the gutter. You have the diverter, so it hits that and goes in the gutter. But then again, with that, you solve one problem, you create another, because those tend to like to make icicles, or if you have a bunch of leaves, they'll pile up behind that.
They'll pile up behind it.
So, I mean, you just have to maintain it.
Right.
Keep an eye on it.
What about cleaning? Well, let's get into ice dams a little bit, because I'll be honest with you, we have had a ton of people this year call about us for ice dams because the water coming actually inside their house now.
Yeah.
What's a good way to prevent an ice dam? I mean, I know you just said about insulation and stuff, how people checking their attics and their roofs and...
Yep, that's the biggest, insulation, and then, heat tape's your best bet. And I've had people, I've put on new homes and stuff, they'll ask me, should I heat tape? Do I need to heat tape this? And I said, you really need to wait for the first winter and just see where you're going to have problems, because you never really know. Because like I said, if you have trees on one side of the house and it doesn't get sunlight, or if the wind blows and it drips against a dorm or something, you really don't know till you see what it does.
Yeah. It all depends on where the sun comes up and the sun sets and everything else. What about cleaning the gutters out? Do you recommend, what do you do on clean outs? Do you clean them out?
I do not do a gutter cleaning service. If I install leaf guard on existing gutter, I'll clean out. Now, there's been lots of gutter I replaced that if they just would have been cleaned out, it probably would have been fine, but they don't clean it out, and it gets full of ice or the weight, and and the thing about gutter is, you've got that big, you've got a 50-foot piece of gutter and 2 downspouts on it. It takes about 6 leaves to clog a downspout hole.
Right.
So then your gutter's not working. So you could think the whole gutter's clean, but if you got, 6 leaves at the end of it where the hole is, and the gutter doesn't work, is worse than no gutter at all.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Then you got, if it does somehow go, then you got all the leaves going down into your drain.
Yeah.
Which could clog up down in there also, correct?
Over time, eventually,
Yeah, depending on where it comes out, French drains, or if it just comes out.
Daylights,
Yeah, never thought about that.
Yep.
So do you recommend leaf guard?
I do. If you're not gonna, if you're a homeowner and you're young and can climb ladders, you're just better off cleaning your gutters pretty often. Leaf guards are like mouse traps. Everybody's got a better one.
Right.
And I have 3 that I've used I like for different applications. I've got one that I use for steel roofs that goes up underneath the roof, and then down on the gutter is kind of like a ramp. The water adheres to it and goes in, but then if you have snow and everything, it just slides across. I've actually installed that on buildings that didn't have a leaf problem, but they were worried about the gutters getting tore off. So we put that on for that. And it's made us the same material, letter gauge, but same material the gutter is, so I can match the color of the gutter. Looks real nice. And then I have another one that's more economical, kind of lays flat on top of the gutter. It's perforated. It works real well too. And the idea of it is, stuff kind of lay on, but the wind kind of blows it off and stuff. The common people don't understand, leaf guards are not, they're not maintenance free. All leaf guards need.
They still need cleaned and worked on.
You still get something like shingle dirt or pine needles and stuff get in the gutters, or the leaf guards, perforation stuff fills up. Every once in a while, I still got to blow them off with a leaf blower or hit them with a pressure washer or something. But I have they call it a micro mesh, which it's about the only thing that works for pine needles. But the problem I found with the micro mesh is if you get something small enough, hole small enough, the tiny ones don't go in. Sometimes in a hard rain, the water doesn't go in either. You gotta kind of. but a gutter that's not clogged that works 9 times out of 10 rains is better than having a clogged gutter.
Sure.
No leaf guard at all. So
Yeah.
you just gotta pick your battles.
Pick your battle, which one you want to do, and how old you are, huh?
Yeah.
Whether you can go up a ladder or not.
Exactly. if
Me, I'm not going up ladders hardly
grandkids
anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, grandkids, kids, whatever.
Yeah.
Exactly. How often do you run into the situation where you have to replace gutters? I mean, is there a certain timeline people should look at, or is it just when something goes wrong, or?
Yeah, I mean, I would replace gutters because you've had new homeowners of the house and they paint the house and they want the new gutters to match the house, new color of paint. So you tear off perfectly fine gutters, put up new gutters. Or like ice damage or tree falls on the house, or somebody backs a truck into something or like that. But and the hangers, seamless gutters been around for a long time. It's only been popular for probably the last 20 years, I'd say.
Right.
So a lot of people have pieces or like the wraparound hangers you can see, because I use hidden hangers you don't see, and they just want the remodel one it to look nicer. And I've been in business now, almost 30 years. I've gotten to the point where I'm replacing gutter that I've installed on houses.
Oh, really?
Which makes it nice because I always write the measurements and bottom the gutters pieces when I put them up and running. So
And you'll have them, you don't have to go back up, climb back over.
Measurements and
That's a good way to do it, though. Yeah, definitely a good way to do it. Yeah, like I said earlier, I said we've had a lot of houses that had the ice dams and everything, and it makes a mess everywhere. So heat taping those down your downspouts, even on the roof, because I really never thought about it. In the place I want you to go look at, the other guy over there is like, the owner, we was talking, he's like, should I put heat tape on there? And I was like, well, I would. I said, but here's my problem. If down towards the edge, how far do they normally put the heat tape up, because then I got to thinking of, say you put it a foot up, off from the edge of the roof, and then I don't know how much area that heats up. So if it heats up 3 inches both ways, everything there from down is going to refreeze again, correct?
Yeah, but you're still. The thing about an ice dam is so you have your roof and then you usually have your eave. So you get heat loss from the house or sun on the roof heats the roof. So it melts and runs down when it hits that gutter and that eave, which is cooler,
right?
Because there's no heat loss or anything, and it refreezes. So then you have this big chunk of ice here, like a foot and a half up the roof.
Right.
Where you still have this stuff melting and it comes down and it just puddles. So you have a puddle of water a foot and a half from the edge of the roof, and that's when you have it go down
into the walls and everything else. So you put it down towards the edge more?
So the heat tape, you kind of put it in a zigzag. Whatever, how big your eave is, you want it past the eave on the roof.
Gotcha.
So you kind of like zigzag, and then that gives the water a trough.
To get down into the...
So the whole edge of the roof doesn't have to be thawed out. It just needs...
So instead of I'm thinking of running a straight line, you're saying zigzag it this way, so then it covers that whole area.
Right, you zigzag it on the roof, and then you just run it like along the bottom of the gutter.
Okay.
Because it'll keep that amount, plus the aluminum transfers heat really well, and then it gives it a trough to run through. So even the whole gutter doesn't need to be free of ice; it just needs a trough for the water to exit.
Right. Okay, I got you. So, you got some funny stories for us?
Oh, just a couple over the years. I do a lot of rentals, and you never know when. Well, hopefully they tell you when the house is not rented and stuff. But I've been on occasions where I went in a place and renters were there, and
oh no,
and they just
we hit that a couple.
Yeah. So I went to one job one time, and there wasn't any cars in the driveway or nothing. I pull in everything, and it was the roof wasn't real steep, so sometimes I like to get up on the roof and just walk the roof to get the measurements. It's quicker and easier. So I walk over the roof, get to the back of the house to make the measurement over the back deck, and there's a hot tub on the back deck, and there's 2 ladies in the hot tub. Then I walk over and I'm standing there, and the one lady looks up and sees me, and I'm not sure what, they weren't speaking English, I'm not sure. And and they just started jibber jabbering and pointing at me and yelling, and the only thing I understand was 911.
Oh no!
So I just pointed at the tape measure. I said, I'm here to work, but I'm going to leave. I'm leaving. Thank you. But then there's been other times I've worked at House Around the Lake stuff, and I've set off. You're working. I don't go inside the house, but you're crawling over the roof and everything.
Right.
And I've actually set the alarm off. Nobody's ever showed up. I guess it wasn't attached to any phone lines.
Yeah. That would be it'd be a sight to see if somebody was up on the roof looking down.
Yeah.
And they didn't know you were there.
And then there's occasion when I do a lot of work for contractors, and they just say, here's the edges of the house. Usually I either match the color of the windows or the roof or something. And so I on this particular house, the drip edge was brown, the roof was brown. It was a cedar house, so I put brown gutter on it. Well, the windows happened to be black and the doors were black. After the fact, I get a call from the contractor. The homeowners wanted the gutter to match the windows, not the roof. So luckily I could just take it off, and I saved it. The contractor, he does several houses, so I just saved it, and I was able to use another one of his houses.
Oh, that's nice.
So it all worked out. But yeah, there's been, and as far as when I'm doing estimates and stuff, I've learned there's a couple dozen colors. There's way too many colors, and I've learned to let the homeowners pick the color.
Right.
I don't want to suggest or pick a color and then say after the fact, I don't like that, or that's not what.
Yeah.
So
that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
How many colors can you get in gutter?
Yeah, there's before COVID there was a whole lot more, and then COVID with the supply shortages and all that, they kind of discontinued a lot of the less popular colors.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's easy a couple dozen. And there's some suppliers that have a program where you can send them a color sample and they'll actually custom paint to match.
Really?
But it's very expensive.
I bet.
Yeah.
So do you just send them the footage that you need then to run it off to get that color? Or do you gotta buy a whole roll?
No, you can do the footage, and then you know exactly how many elbows you need or end caps and all that stuff too. So it gets,
Which get kind of tricky.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
But still, white's still king. The majority, I'd say 2/3 of what I do is still white.
Is it really?
Yeah, never goes out of style.
Well, I guess that's a good thing, I guess. But yeah.
And then for the longest time, that hunter green was real popular on the log homes and stuff. But now black's the big color now.
Oh wow.
A lot of black. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. I know a lot of people appreciate what you do because it saves their houses and everything else. And
yep, it's kind of like a necessary evil.
yeah,
Yeah.
about like us right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you want to tell them?
I don't know. Thank you.
Preventative maintenance, anything like that? I think we mainly covered everything. I think.
Yeah, if you just keep them clean, and a lot of times I've been in places where they'll clean the gutters, but they don't check the downspouts. Sometimes you get stuff down the elbows and stuff, and the gutters are clean, but the downspouts aren't draining. But yeah, it don't take much to get up to. If you got a less slip roof, you can just walk the roof with a leak blower and blow them out, or pressure washer. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, gutters, especially gutters I put up, they'll last you a long, long time if you just keep them clean or go back into them.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
We'll give your company the shout out with your phone number and all.
Outhouse Gutters and Downspouts, 301-387-9312.
Yeah. Give him a call, folks. He'll hook you up and do you a good job and take care of you. Like you said, 30 years into business, and he's just still replacing some of the ones he did back then, so you know that it's good.
Yep, and I mean, about the only advertising I've ever had to do has been word of mouth, and I've got my box trailers lettered up, but it's, I do the work myself. People know I do good work, so it keeps me busy.
Right, and word of mouth means a lot in a small community because we say it even here. You do one bad job, everybody's going to know it. So if you're 30 years into business and you're still doing it, then you're in good shape.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for coming today.
Thank you, Chip.
Kyle, thanks for the potty mouth. I might do 50-50 with you on this. We'll split Bill's money. You can keep mine, we'll split Bill's. Let me know how that works out for you and we'll do it. But yeah, thanks a lot, Mike. And everybody, again, thanks for the 12 viewers who's been watching us.
Thanks for making me social media famous?
You will. We'll have you back on. Maybe we'll have Kyle come up.
Yeah.
That would be a chore right there. We'll have
Yep.
Kyle come up and sit
That'd be
with us one
entertaining.
day. Yeah. But, yeah, folks, thanks.
When you get the jar full, you can have them on to come collect.
That's a good idea.
Yep.
He'll be on tomorrow, folks.
Yep.
Time he's got to skip school.
Yep.
But yeah, everybody, thanks for watching Standing Waters Podcast, and we will see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.